Oh, hey, looks, we're live. Excuse me. Feeling a little froggy this morning. How I did this morning, everybody? Just I'm running a little tardy and getting my stuff set up here. So bear with me for a minute. And well, you can't see it yet. So oh, that's what that picture was for. And well, okay. You can't see it yet. So audio works. Just want to verify that, and then gonna go live on Facebook as well. We're just kind of hanging out for a minute, getting ourselves together. So bear with me. YouTube says got a stream error, so this might this might do the, what do they call it, the little wheel going round and round. So we'll see how that goes. Bear with me. I just want to get my Facebook going too, and we'll go live on Facebook just because. Sure wish I could hear myself on this. I guess oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, there we go. Live video. We're going to turn that camera around so it looks at me. All right. It says we're live on YouTube or Facebook as well. Good morning. Okay. Pardon me for my frogginess this morning. Been out in the weather the last couple days, so don't know what that's about. But anyway, we are live this morning from the Dan Cave, and if anybody, well, I think I got one on YouTube and nobody on Facebook yet, but hopefully somebody will pop on here in a minute, and we'll just hang out and talk and kind of shoot the breeze, let you know what's been going on. Exciting stuff has happened to me this last week or so interesting. So hopefully the YouTube's not buffering too badly, but I know sometimes it'll kick people out. Hey, I see a couple people logged on to Facebook. Say hi, because I don't recognize your icon there. Oh, Albert Williams. Hey, how you doing, buddy? How's life treating you? You feeling okay? I know you had some health stuff going on a while back, so hopefully everything's going well. And right, so I'm just kind of killing time till we get a few people logged on. So not a whole lot to talk about, but I've had some semi-exciting stuff happen this week, at least for me. So thought I'd get on and share and just kind of shoot the breeze this morning, because I keep saying I'm going to do this every other week. So trying to keep my promises. That's hard sometimes, but anyway. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I think it's just me and Albert right now, but we'll get started. Do it. Good to hear, Albert. It's I know health stuff this time of year is tough anyway, so hopefully everybody's well, because there's a lot of crap going on right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this, and everybody can watch it on playback if they want to watch. I kind of did the Facebook Live impromptu, so I just figured I'd get on there and on there as well as YouTube. But I am live on YouTube on PFG Fishing if you want to check that out. Anyway, so hope everybody's Thanksgiving was good. Hope everybody had a blessed holiday. We however you celebrated it, there's I guess there's a lot of debate about how we celebrate our holidays and stuff right now, and all the political poop that's going on. So not gonna get political about that, but it's just hope however you celebrated your holiday, hope it was great. Hope you got to connect with family, be it virtually or in person, what have you. Ourselves, like I say, we've got kind of a small circle of family around here anyway, so we hung out here at the house, me, Tabby, and Tracy, and I had a couple of who else joined me out there? I can see it. Oh, Andy Huffman. How you doing, Andy? So we had a couple of I had a couple of turkey breasts that I bought at Sam's about 2-3 weeks ago, as kind of a just in case, because we were supposed to go to the in-laws' house, Tracy's mom and stepmother, and when it was all said and done, they opted not to have company, and that's good for them, So they're older. They don't need us dragging stuff into the house. They got enough going on, right? So we just stayed home, and I had actually signed up to work that day, so I worked like 6 hours on Thursday, but got up early and put those turkey breasts in the smoker and smoked them, and got a nice little smoke taste to them. And Tracy made a bunch of sides, and we just kind of hung out, and I came up from the basement for a while and had dinner, and all was good. There was no football involved. I can't even tell you the last time I looked at a football game. So I might have watched 5 minutes of one a few weeks back if I tripped over it, but we don't. I don't get time to sit in front of the TV anymore, really. So no, we had turkey, but no football. So anyway, if you're on the YouTube or on Facebook, make sure you give me a shout. Same for YouTube. Just let me know who's on, because I can't see who's on. Just leave me a comment. Tell me who's there, so I can holler at you. But anyway, yeah, we just kind of hung out around the house, and Roy did not much of anything. Well, Friday and Saturday I went fishing, but like I said, we just kind of hung out and did a lot of nothing other than eat and the girls watched TV, and I worked and did some video stuff. So anyway, got to get that good money while it's good, right? Got to support my fishing habit. Anyway, so like I say, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Now, last week, it is technically last week. So I got to go fishing on Friday and Saturday, yesterday, and me and Mo Fisher went up to, hey, my stream health is looking better now. Of course, there's nobody watching, but anyway, me and Mo Fisher went up to Wren Lake Friday and Saturday, and Friday was a little difficult. I had in mind that I was going to go fish stumps up on the north end of the lake, and I had a new toy on board, and we're going to talk about that a little more here in a minute. But the recent rains have brought the lake up to a little above pool. So those stumps that I had intended to fish on Friday were underwater for the most part. So it was hard to really locate them, and then the wind was kind of blowing from a weird direction up there. So it's like out of the southeast. It's supposed to be out of the west, and it did turn to the west later that day. But in the morning, when we hit the water up there, it was kind of coming out of the southwest, and it was difficult at best to even stay on anything. So, and the water was really muddy up there too, with all the new water coming into the lake. So we didn't last too long up there. I think we were up there a couple hours, and then we turned around and come farther down the lake and put in at the Jackie Branch, and we did. My intention this weekend, and actually for probably as many times as I get out to Wren Lake this year, is to not fish on the bridges. And I know that was kind of a popular thing for me last year, but the point to it is I want to learn more about the lake than just being able to go sit on those bridges and fish all day. And but I'm not learning anything if I'm not if I'm sitting under a bridge all day, right? So that was kind of the point to that. So like I say, we tried those stumps, and there was a reason for that. I had actually been out with somebody else up there, and they kind of showed me around. So, and that's actually going to be next week's video too. So, but I'm trying to educate myself on Wren Lake more so than just, like say, just spider rigging and fishing on the bridges. So it's a big lake, and really hadn't spent much time on it until last fall, and mostly because the boat that I had was so small that and underpowered that I didn't really go play much on the bigger part of the lake. So kind of tried to hide out of the wind as much as possible. But hey, there's hey Kyle, how you doing? Black Friday fishing purchasing. Did I purchase anything on Black Friday? I don't think I did. Purchased gas. I purchased minnows. I purchased ice. But I'm just responding to Kyle right quick. Not much, but there was some shopping on Amazon this morning. And Kyle, there was a pre-Black Friday thing, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So hang out. Uh, but so yeah, I'm just trying to get better versed at fishing at Ren Lake and being able to adapt to conditions as the wind and the what you call it, the fish as far as the fish behavior and the wind behavior, so like I say, I just want to get better versed on that lake, and so I've got other options when the wind's blowing from a stupid direction or spider rigging's not working. So that's where kind of the electronics on the boat are going to come in, and me getting better at scanning for brush piles and stuff, and just kind of getting to know the electronics better. So anyway, yeah, so we did go out, but we were scouting new locations yesterday and Friday. So we went to went up, tried to fish those stumps for a bit. It didn't work out. Then we went to, let's see, where else did we go? We went and found a couple of brush piles in Jackie Branch, Christmas trees, I believe, and yeah, matter of fact, because Donnie pulled one up out of the water. But we fished on a couple of brush piles in Jackie Branch and caught a bunch of small fish and about, I guess, eight or nine really nice ones. But again, the wind was kind of coming out of the weird direction. It finally turned out of the west where it should have been in the first place, and we ended up going kind of scouting around some of the bridges, just kind of looking around. We did wind up at the Gun Creek Bridge for an hour at the end of the day and caught like four or five more fish. But like I said, I'm trying to stay off of those, but I'm maybe using those as a last resort. And usually by later in the day, those bridges kind of clear out too, because I guess everybody comes and catches a bunch of fish and leaves. So later in the day, those bridges aren't as stacked up with boats. So I'm okay with that. But when there's 40 boats out under one bridge, it's a little on the ridiculous side. So yeah, we stopped in, caught like five more at Gun Creek Bridge, and then we headed home. We ended up with like 14 fish, I believe. And then Saturday, kind of repeat, except for I had a little snafu on the way to Red Lake on yesterday morning. We were driving down the highway. It's like, it was like 6:30 or so, and I've got that Chevy truck now, and I'm not really terribly used to it yet, but we're hauling along, and low fuel light went off just outside of Mount Vernon, and I guess I was sleepy or not paying attention or something. I'm driving along, all of a sudden, plop, 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 truck died. I ran out of gas. So we're sitting on the side of 57 southbound, out of gas, and I ended up having to call for roadside service and lost like an hour and a half to fishing. It was a big joke. It was a really big joke. That was stupid of me, but I paid a good price for that. It's like $125 to have somebody bring me $5 gallons of gas. The good news, though, is I think I can get reimbursed from my insurance for that. So hopefully, I think I've got roadside service on there. So should be should be able to get reimbursed. They're pretty good about it, and they're pretty quick too. So, um, so after we resolved that and got to the lake, we fished on the we went and fished on the south end, and that's actually someplace I'd never been before. So went down to the south end, down to is it Markham? Yeah, South Markham, and tried to hit up some of the brush piles and stuff there, and some of the structure, and we found one particular spot, and it. I don't know that it. Well, yeah, it's marked on the Wren Lake fish. If you look up Wren Lake fishing, Wren Lake fish attractors, if you just Google it, there's a map, and it'll show like all your GPS points. And I'm not good at like figuring GPS stuff out, but it's actually got a lake map of where the different Corps of Engineers. Brush piles are where the Corps of Engineers has actually put in brush and or porcupine balls or different types of structure in the lake, right? And it's so we did happen across one down there, caught a couple fish on and a bunch of small ones. Excuse me. And apparently I'm still sleepy. So we caught a bunch of small ones and a couple of good fish, and kind of moseyed up from there. We went over to Sandusky and kind of looked around, and there was a lot of boats sitting over there on stuff. We didn't really find anything available, so we ended up, and because our day got shortened, we ended up going up to the bridge on 154. Google Hangout. I think I'm on Hangouts, Kyle, but it's been a minute. I know nothing about that other than I signed up for it for some reason, and I actually logged on to an account, but I don't know what I'm doing out there. Maybe you can guide me through it, Kyle. Like I say, I went out there like one time, and it's an app on my phone, but I don't know how to use it. So, but yeah, so we ended up hitting up and the water was like really, really smooth yesterday. So I was able to kind of stretch the legs on the boat a little bit and zoom across the lake, albeit it was a bit cool. But with our shortened day, we ended up going up to the bridge at 154, and we fished up there for about 3 hours, something like that. Kind of filled up the live well a little bit because we were, like I said, we're kind of running short on time. So we ended up with like 16 fish yesterday. So not a bad deal. And I got to go clean fish after we're done here. So got them sitting on ice. But like I say, I want to stay off those bridges, but at the same time, you're having a bad day. It's always a good bet to go pick up some so you can invite people, have a virtual meet and greet. Okay. Well, we'll have to try it out, Kyle. I'll have to look on my phone because my phone's occupied at the moment. But I'll have to look on my phone as to what my username is, and I'll let you know because like I say, I did sign up on there, but it's been probably 6 months, and I don't even remember why I did it, but it was probably something stupid, but I know I did create an account on there. So anyway, I'll get that to you though, Kyle. We'll see what we can do. That might be a new way of communicating the paid, the YouTube stuff and the PF Panfish Guy stuff too. So anyway, who else we got on YouTube? That's Roma. Hi, Roma. Roma and Roy. How we doing? I didn't get to talk to you on Thanksgiving. How did how'd your Thanksgiving go? We just kind of hung out and had a foodapalooza here. But good seeing you this morning. But you can comment. Tell me how your day was, Roma. So anyway, no. So we fished for a couple days. Had a good time. Water was really smooth as glass yesterday, so we ran all over the lake and just kind of stretched the legs on the boat and got cold while we were doing it, and it was a good time though. So, but what else do we want to talk about today? I got some notes here. So, all right, yeah, that thing. Okay, so if any of y'all recall on my last live stream, I talked about, I had caffeine needs. I talked about looking at possibly getting a live scoop. And for those not familiar with the terminology, Roma, basically it's a fancy sonar system on the boat that you can see fish swimming around in real time. So it's one of the latest advancements in sonar technology, although they have another brand that's coming out with something similar here soon. It's who's doing that? Humminbird. And it's supposed to be better, but it's probably going to be really expensive, and I don't have that kind of budget. Good to hear, Roma. Good to hear. So anyway, like I said, I mentioned on my last live stream, I'm thinking about getting a live scope. Well, later that evening, it's just like weird coincidences, I guess, because similar thing happened when I was thinking about getting a different boat, right? And then somebody messaged me and said, "Hey, by the way, I got a boat for sale," and it then ended up happening. So it just it's strange coincidences, right? So anyway, I'm scrolling through Facebook later that evening after I mentioned that I was thinking about getting a live scope, and it's not that I need one. It's kind of I think it's, I've been kind of on the fence on like getting into the electronics thing just because, I kind of fancy myself an old timer fisherman, if you will. So I don't, I've always kind of been on the fence with it, and there's a lot of, there's probably a community of people out there that hate them just because it kind of takes away the old time fishing thing, if you will. So it's still debatable for me. But so anyway, long story short, we'll get more into those things as we go. But I saw this guy's post, and it was posted by David Palmer, who's no relation. He's got David Palmer runs a company called Jack'em Jigs locally here, and he makes hand-tied jigs. Good, and they're really good stuff. But he posted on Facebook. He says, "Okay, hey, I'm helping a friend sell a LiveScope system." And I was like, "Oh, really?" So, I was skeptical at first because I've seen. I actually saw a while back. There's a fishing group that I'm in from on Facebook from it's Mark Twain Lake Anglers thing, and there was apparently a bit of a brouhaha where somebody was selling a used LiveScope system, and I didn't get the full details because like a lot of the stuff got deleted. But what I gleaned from it was that somebody was sold the system to somebody else within the group, and then it turned out not to be. I'm trying to use the correct words. It turned out to be not a functional system, or something was wrong with it, and the person who sold it kind of disappeared. So like say when I saw that, I was kind of skeptical, because you don't believe everything you see on the internet, right? Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Okay, just so we're clear on that, right? If it's on the interweb, it has to be true. No, it doesn't. So anyway, so I was skeptical. I kind of kept on scrolling, right? And next day or so, I was thinking, I was like, I wonder about that, right? So I went back and looked at it, and it turned out it was the guy who was selling it was somebody I've already got as a Facebook friend. I've actually never met in person, but he lived right around the corner from my aunt and uncle at one time, and so I was like, okay, might be worth a look, just to make sure, see if it's legit. And so I messaged him and got to talking and everything, and he had a bunch of add-ons besides the LiveScope system. So he had the LiveScope system with the 93 SP, which is, I guess, 9.3 screen. I'm not sure. It's about the size of a tablet, right? And the transducer, the black box, the the monitor or head unit, and then he also had purchased a power setup with if anybody's seen the LiveScope stuff, it's called C-Lite. It had a C-Lite tool battery tool adapter, right? Or tool battery adapter. So basically what you could do is run the LiveScope off of a portable battery from a DeWalt tool set, right? So DeWalt cordless tools. So he had the adapter for that, the what else? The adapter for that, the DeWalt battery, dual charger, and the batteries, as well as he had a C-Lite. He had a separate mount for the transducer. So he had a separate mount for the transducer. He had a C-Lite pole, and if you ever seen those online, but it's basically a separate transducer pole that the transducer mounts on, so you don't have it on your trolling motor. And I have enough problems with the transducer I already have on my trolling motor, as far as the 360, because I've got a Tarova trolling motor, and that thing twists around, and it, I put a kit on there to kind of help not damage the cable, but it's not great. I think I still need to tune it up a little bit, but so I didn't want to mount that. I didn't really want to mount the transducer on the trolling motor, especially because if you're like, say you're in a spot lock mode, that thing's kind of all over the place, and if you're trying to look at a specific piece of structure or something, and that motor's turning, you're has got to be pointed at what you're looking at, right? So it didn't make sense for me to have it mounted on the trolling motor. So I went with he had the pole separate, and then you just twist it and point it at wherever you're looking, right? So it worked out. It works out well for that. So that would have been my preference anyway. And then he also had the mount. Trying to remember the perspective mount from Garmin for the live scope, and basically that's a mount that enables you to not only see forward to a piece of structure, but you can turn the mount, and it gives you like a 150-degree view in front of the boat. And I thought that would be useful for spider rigging. Because it gives you, that range out in front of the boat, and you got that arc of poles out in front of the boat. So I feel like it'd be useful for that. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll get there. But so anyway, after it was all said and done, I kind of looked over what he had, and I felt like it was a legit thing, and he had reasons for selling it that involved needing to basically his wife was not keen on him buying power poles for his boat until he got rid of something else. So it was either it's kind of like it's me or something else, right? But in this case, it was the power poles or the live scope. You get one, you can't have both, right? So anyway, I got a message. AT&T taking money out of my account. Okay, good for you. All right. So anyway, yeah. So after I looked it all over and everything, I was like, I don't have the money right this second, but the price was right. And although right now you're seeing, like I was just looking this morning, I saw somebody had a similar bundle, a live scope bundle for sale, brand new. I've seen some with like refurbished head units, which I'm not sure what that's about, but this was actually an all new package, the transducer LVS32, the 93 SV monitor, and the what was the other thing? Who else joined us? I think I got Albert on there still, and who else? Who else do we have? I can't tell. Oh, Ricky. Hey, Ricky. How you doing? So, we're just shooting the breeze about my new electronic gadget that I bought. Is all. Where I ended up buying one of those live scope systems, and got to go try it out the last couple days. So it's interesting. Not totally sold on the ability to catch more fish with it, but I can see use for it in several applications. So, and we're going to kind of get up into that. So, so long story short, he had all that equipment for sale. Price was right, and I managed to scrape up the dollars to buy it, but basically I paid about roughly about half of what all that equipment would have cost retail. And he said he had used it like twice, and I believe him. And he was just like, it's not my type of fishing, but he's getting ready to move to Florida and fish in like Okeechobee. So he said he really didn't have any use for it there. So I was like, I'll take it off your hands. So ended up buying that. made him happy, made his wife happy, made me happy. So it's all good. But so let's see. Yeah, so I picked that up, managed to get it installed after several bouts, and I've been working a bunch of overtime last couple of weeks, so kind of fitting in maybe an hour or two here and there to get out there and play with it in the garage and get it set up. And I finally got it set up, and I was like, I'm still not sure if this is working right, because when you power it on and it's not in the water, it doesn't, like some traditional sonar, if you power it on, you're going to get some return, even if it's not in the water. For the live scope, it doesn't have a return. It just unless it's in the water, you get green. Phineas the Skinniest. He hasn't posted a video in a while. He's entertaining, and it's Phineas the Skinniest and Daisy, I think, is his wife. I don't remember, but they're fun to watch. So anyway, no, we ended up picking that up. I got it installed and took it out to Ren Lake, tried it out a bit. Like I said, I kind of aimed to fish in those stumps, and I think that would have been a good option had the wind not been stupid that day. But another day we'll get out there and find some fish with it. But I did try it out on some brush piles, and it's got I was able to actually see so basically what I had was I was set up over these brush piles, and I was doing a vertical jigging thing. And who else is on? Oh, hi, Shelly. How you doing? Donnie, got those fish cooked up for you yet? So anyway, we were able to. I was set up on these brush piles, and I had it's kind of vertical jigging over them, and on those you can kind of what's pretty cool though with the live scope is you can actually see your jig as you drop it down, right? And the same goes for like the spider rig setup. So if you can actually see your baits hanging in the water when you got a spider rig set out in front of you. So say so for instance, I'm sitting on this brush pile, and I can see my bait hanging down above this brush pile, but it's about, and it's got like a grid on it, so it kind of gives you a measurement of how deep you are. And I could see my bait was hanging about a foot above this brush, right? And you can see fish moving around down all in the brush, but the bait was hanging up here, and it was like getting absolutely no action, right? So I dropped that bait down another foot to where it's sitting right on top of where that brush is. Bam! those fish. So I see it advantageous for that reason. If nothing else, it at least lets you see where your bait is in relation to the fish, so that you can adjust, bring it up or bring it down depending on where those fish are, right? So it's not just like a static picture like you see on a typical sonar. So it's really cool. When I get it dialed in, I think I'll be able to do some more damage and kind of maybe isolate on stuff that I've never seen before, right? Structure I'd never seen or run into before, and kind of give me a better picture of where the fish are, right? So, but I'm still like well, that's the idea, Ricky. you catch more fish. But yeah, so the other part of it is, we went when we were fishing at Ren Lake last couple days. I set it up when we were doing when we were fishing around the bridges, and I didn't really find it terribly advantageous in that situation, except for, you could see like fish moving, like you could see shad balls moving through, and then you could see fish moving down on the bottom, right? But it was kind of hard to isolate on anything specific, because it's just a bunch of rock there, right? But what again, you can see your bait, and you're hanging your bait down, and typically our strategy there is you drop your bait to the bottom, reel it up one turn, right? Well, when you did that, you could see that bait sitting this far off the bottom. The fish are down here. So, they were literally on Friday, they were literally glued to the bottom down there. So, you had to have that thing that far from the bottom to get bit. They were right down on the bottom. So, excuse me. So it was pretty cool. It at least helps you see where your bait is in relation to the fish. Can't make them bite, as much as you want. As much as there's no technology in the world that's going to help with that, other than getting a bait in their face and hopefully they bite it. So, but it does give you the ability to see where you are in relation to those fish, and get the bait at least in the neighborhood that they're sitting, or moving. So, but it worked out pretty well, and we did it on Friday, we did it on Saturday, and like I say, I got a lot to learn about it, and I think that jig thing will be a good test, the stump thing, fishing in stumps will be a good test of that, and when the time is right. So more to come on that, but it is a lot of fun. And I think the other part of it too is when I'm spider rigging, you're going to be able to have a better view of. Yep. Yeah, agreed, Rick. Well, they sometimes those fish are 2 feet off the bottom at Rend around those bridges, but for right now, they're literally glued to the bottom, because I couldn't get a bite when I was 2 foot, a foot or a foot and a half or 2 foot off the bottom. You had to be right down there on the bottom, and you could see where your bait was in relation to it. So pretty cool stuff. But so yeah, I see that being advantageous for spider rigging, especially next spring when probably hitting Reelfoot and some other places, because with that, like say, you can see your baits in front of you, right? And then you can see where, if you locate fish, you're going to be able to see where the fish are in relation to your bait. So if you're running, typically I run 4 to 5 to 6 foot deep, but if I'm in a deeper lake that's 30 foot deep, those fish might be sitting at 12, right? And I'll be able to adjust as needed. So anyway, pretty cool stuff, and I'm happy with it. Like I say, the thing doesn't work if it's not in the water, but once you put it in, it lights up, so it's pretty neat. And like I say, I don't think it's going to make me a better fisherman, but it'll help. I think it'll help me locate fish better anyway. So, again, not that I needed it, only that I wanted it, because everybody else has one, right? Not really. But. All right. So, all right, we're gonna get out of that. So, next thing up is, what time is it? 10:52. Man, I've been gabbing away. So, video updates. was supposed to have a video uploaded this morning, and I kind of got sidetracked earlier, or last night. I was tired. I was sleepy, so I went to bed early, and so I hope to have a new video uploaded by bedtime tonight. So later on this evening, should have something posted. If not, it'll be tomorrow. So, but I got one in the works. It's just got to set. Usually, I got to touch things up. And next week, we've got a special episode of, how do I say it? We're going to be fishing with Jason from Jason Dudley. There we go. Couldn't spit that out right away. We're going to be fishing with Jason Dudley from Buckbrush Fishing Guides at Wren Lake. I've decided that if I'm going to be efficient at fishing at Wren Lake, I got to learn new stuff, right? So I'm kind of getting the last few weeks and months trying to get educated. Because like I say, I've never really spent much time out there other than last fall. So I really don't know the lake that well, and so I feel like I need to I've needed to educate myself and where to go fish, under what conditions, and what where in relation to different types of fishing too. So whether it's spider rigging or vertical jigging brush piles or stake beds, or being able to locate structure, stuff like that. So I'm getting educated, and just because I get a live scope doesn't mean I don't need to learn more about where I'm fishing at, right? So oh, okay, I got you, Rick. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so I've been, and obviously there's places you don't want to go when you're under certain conditions. I've learned that a couple times. I made 2 trips out into the stumps out there at in recent memory, anyway, in the last few weeks, and or last few weeks, month-ish, and both times I ventured out in those stumps, I broke a transducer mount not for the live scope, but for the for my Humminbird unit, my main unit that I use for scanning for structure. So I've decided now, at least I've got a plan, that when I do that again, I'm just going to take my transducer off the boat. We did that Friday when we tried to fish out there, because I get at $20 a pop. Those will get expensive if every time I go out in the stumps. I got to replace it. So because I bought 2 on my last time, and I just don't want to beat up anything else. I've already beat up enough equipment for this year, even for next year, for that matter. So that's it. So, like I say, learning the lake. I've got other lakes I want to learn, and kind of get a little better versed on where I can go and what are the possibilities on some of the bigger lakes. I got a couple guys I got to hit up to go on different lakes too. Scotty Kendall, I got to get with him, because we were going to go fish and film, and he didn't. He ended up having a coronavirus scare, if I recall, or had to go under quarantine for a little while. But anyway, that's all about that. So, like I say, we'll have a video probably later tonight, and then shoot for one next Sunday early with Buckbrush Fishing Guides. Um, and I learned quite a bit on that particular trip, and we absolutely killed them. And there's a super cool dog there too. One of the other guys that guides with with Jason brought his dog along, and she's super cool, and she loves fishing. Let me tell you. So hopefully I captured some of that action. He was on his own boat, but hopefully I captured some of that action to share because it was pretty cool. Anyway, so that's that, and then we're getting to the top of the hour, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. There are for those that ordered swag. I've got a young lady who is making the shirts contacted me last night. She got her machine fixed. Apparently, she had a power problem with her printing machine that like knocked all the lights out in her house or something. So she had to get her machine fixed, and she messaged me last night that most of my stuff is done. So when I get that stuff in hand, I think she was finishing up today. When I get that stuff in hand, I'll be reaching out to those who ordered to get you your stuff. So hopefully later on this week. And I was going to share pictures, but I forgot how to do the media source on my thing, so I'm going to have to work on that for next time. But anyway, we'll do that do that at a later date. And those who've been on for a while probably seen pictures of the shirts, but the masks are pretty cool looking too. So anyway, but that's it. This week, my agenda is to work, fish, repeat. So we're gonna. I've got 20 hours overtime this week. Try to work on stuff and video and stuff in between, and my regular 40 hours, and then try to get out Saturday, if not Sunday next week. Probably going to be out at Ren Lake again. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. We're right at the top of the hour, so I'm going to move on. I got to go clean fish. I still got fish on ice from last night. So, that's all that I got. I'm done. I'm out of here. Got other stuff to go do. So anyway, thanks for watching. And again, hopefully everybody had a good holiday. And we got more holidays coming up, so hopefully things get better with the virus stuff and all that, and all the political turmoil in the world, and everything kind of calms down, and we'll just get back to like normal stuff, So we shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We'll do another one of these Sunday after next. All right, have a good day.